Hello guys, and welcome back to a new episode of Shooting the Dolomites. Now, at this time around, I've picked two incredibly easy to reach locations and very close between each other. The two churches of the Funes Valley, called Santa Magdalena and San Giovanni Ranui. Now, in this video we'll see when it's best to shoot them, at what time of the day and the year, where are the best spots and the possible compositions. So keep watching and enjoy! Let's start from Santa Magdalena, probably the most iconic shot of this valley. And well, this is also the most difficult, well, difficult is a big word, but to reach the, let's say, classic viewpoint of the Santa Magdalena church, you'll have to walk on, well, the road that I'm actually walking right now, all the way from the town center of Funes to that viewpoint, which is on the other hill. And the church is actually, probably, you see the peak, let's say the top of the building. And well, it's a very easy, probably a 15 minutes walk, so it's on the road, so it's very easy. And just by following the road, you'll eventually reach the famous viewpoint. That's how you access the Santa Magdalena iconic church spot. Now, after that 15-20 minutes walk that I was telling you about, you'll eventually reach this area, okay, from where all the shots of the Santa Magdalena church down there with the Odle in the background are taken, pretty much. You know, you have that cherry tree, which is famous, you'll see it in a lot of shots. It's just wonderful in autumn, to be honest, because the colors that that tree take are just mind-blowing. But well, of course, you also get the classic view, and right now it's summer, so there are a few wildflowers here and there that, you know, you can use for the foreground. But well, this is pretty much the area from where you'll capture all the images. And well, you know, composition wise, you are, well, not limited, but of course that's the subject, okay? So unless you want to shoot something else completely different, that's where you're going to point your camera. And well, as a lens, I would recommend a standard zoom lens like the 24-70, 24-105, something that, you know, ranges a little bit so that you can take both a little bit wider shots and close up. One very important information before wrapping things up here, the fields around the viewpoints are private, okay, and the landowners are very strict about the rules. So even if you step 1 foot in their property, they're going to yell at you very loudly. So just be careful, stay on the path and don't go out of there. After an incredibly short walk from the parking lot that is down there, you'll eventually arrive here at this platform from where you can shoot the classic image of the San Giovanni Rani church with the Odle in the background. An iconic view for sure. And well, to be fair though, this is not the only picture that you can take here. If you return back to the parking lot and you walk along the road for a couple of minutes, you'll eventually arrive to an elevated view from where you can shoot the church in between the trees. And that's honestly a perspective that I like even better. I'll show you right now. As I told you, just a couple of corners above the classic perspective, you'll get this view, which to me is actually even better, from where you can frame the church in between the trees and still get the Odle in the background, actually a little bit more because you're higher. So bring your standard zoom lens, any 24 to 70, 24 to 120, and be sure to capture this view too, and not just limit yourself to the classic one, right? Let's talk about when you should visit this place, okay? So about when during the day, both of these churches should be captured at sunset. That's by far the best time of the day because you get the last light on the peaks, while at sunrise you get the sun rising like slightly on the left, and honestly it's not that pretty unless you get some really incredible conditions. So hands down, best time of the day to be here is sunset. Now, about when to visit during the year, that's trickier, but at the cost of being repetitive, probably I would definitely pick either summer or autumn. In summer you get the lush green fields and, well, of course it's super pretty, while in autumn you get the foliage. And honestly, the foliage in this valley is probably one of the best of the Dolomites. You get all sorts of orange, yellow and red, so it's really something. So probably if I have to pick one time, I would definitely pick fall. The fall season here is just splendid. Alright guys, I just came back to the car, it's starting to rain and it's time to end this video. So, what to say about the Val di Funes and its two famous churches? In both cases you have a small church, you know, that gives scale to the landscape with the huge mountains in the background, and I think that's what makes these two shots so gorgeous and between the most famous postcard views of the Dolomites. But to me that's what they are, postcard views. So if on one side you should definitely shoot them, at least on your first visit around here, on the other hand, don't spend too much time shooting them either. You know, there are plenty more locations in the Dolomites that are less known and where you can include your own personal style. While, you know, these two, they've been shot over and over again and they lack a little bit in originality. That's just my humble opinion. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed and see you next time!